Okay, now we go to section 1.3, radicals and rational expression. So if a is a positive real number, then the square root of a is a number that, when multiplied by itself, give a. For example, if a equal to 25, then 5 square is 25, and negative 5 square is also 25. So 5 plus or negative 5 are square root of 25. So in these two square roots, 5 is the principal square root. So principal square root. Is denoted by this symbol. Is a positive number. So when multiplied by itself, equals a. So that means the principal square root of 25, it is 5. So it is not correct to write that square root of 5 is plus or minus of 5. Only this notation. So when we write a square root of a, then a, this is a radical. So this notation, it is a radical, and the whole expression is a radical expression. Okay. Example 1. What is a square root and square root of 81? So square root of 81 is 9, because 9 square equal to 81. Therefore square root of 81 is 9. And square root of 9 is 3, because 3 square is 9. That means square root of 9 is 3. So square root of 9 plus 16, it is square root of 25. And square root of 25, it is 5. So, can we find the square root before adding? Well, we could write like that. Square root of 9 plus square root of 16. Square root of 9, this is 3. And square root of 16, this is 4. So this is 7. 7 not equal to 5. That means you cannot take the square root before adding. Product rule. To simplify square root. So the square root of the product AB, this is the same as square root of A times square root of B. So the rule is that we factor any perfect square from the radicand and write the radicand expression as a product of radicand expression, and we simplify. Okay. Example. So square root of 500 we write as square root of 100 times 5, because 100 is perfect square. So it is square root of 100 times square root of 5. So the square root of 100 is 10, because 10 square is equal to 100. Next, square root of 50 x squared y cubed z. So 50, this is 25 times 2, because 25 is perfect square. X squared y squared and 2yz. So we break it into the 25 x squared y squared square root 2yz, and it is square root of 25 square root of x squared square root of y squared. So this is 5xy square root of 2yz. Okay, so this is the first example. This is the second example. Now, next example. Say if it have square root of 3 times square root of 12. This is the same as square root of 3 times 12 square root of 36. So this is 6 square. So it is 6. Quotient rule. to simplify square root. So the quotient rule says that square root of a over b, this is the square root of a over square root of b. So example 3. Say square root of 7 over 64. We could write square root 7 over square root of 64. Square root of 7, we keep it because square root of 64, this is 8. We could simplify only denominator. So square root of 3x4 over 2y squared. We could write it as square root of 3 over 2 square root of x4 square root of y squared. So this is square root of 3 over 2 x squared over y. So adding and subtracting square roots. So if you have the same radicand, then we could add them or you could subtract them. For example, b square root of a plus c square root of a, it is the same as b plus c square root of a, or b square root of a minus c square root of a, it is b minus c square root of a. Example 4. Square root of 12 plus 3 square root of 3. So square root of 12, we can write square root of 4 times 3. So this is square root of 4 times square root of 3. Square root of 4 is 2. So this is 14 square root of 3 plus 3 square root of 3. Now we could add 14 plus 3 square root of 3. So this is 17 square root of 3. So don't try to do that. 7 square root of 12 plus 3 square root of 3 right as 7 plus 3 square root of 12 plus 3. So it's wrong. Okay. Okay. 3 square root of 80x minus 4 square root of 45x. Now 80x and 45x, what is the common radical? You can see that it is 5x. So we write as 3 square root of 16 times 5x minus 4 square root of 9 times 5x. So this is 3 square root of 16 square root of 5x minus 4 square root of 9 square root of 5x. 3 times 4 square root of 16 is 4 square root of 5x minus 4 times 3 because square root of 9 is 3 square root of 5x. So 3 times 4, this is 12 square root of 5x. 4 times 3, this is also 12 square root of 5x. So this is 12 minus 12 square root of 5x. Or this is 0 times square root of 5x. Or simply 0. So, rationalizing denominator. So, if there is a single square root radical term in denominator, we can rationalize the denominator by multiplying the numerator and denominator by the radical in the denominator. So if you have something like that, a divided by b square root of times square root of c. It is unchanged if we multiply it by 1. But if you multiply by 1, it is 1 the same as you multiply by square root of c divided by square root of c. Because square root of c, so this is a square root of c divided by b c, and there is no square root. So multiply by square root of c divided by square root of c if necessary. So example 5. So 12 square root of 3 divided by square root of 2. So denominator has square root of 2, so we multiply with quotient square root of 2 over square root of 2. So it will be 12 square root of 3 times square root of 2 divided by square root of 2 square. So this is 12 square root of 3 times 2. Square root of 2 square is 2. So this is 12 square root of 6 divided by 2. This is 6 square root of 6. So if we have expression a plus b square root of c in denominator, then you multiply with a minus b square root of c, because you remember that it is the same as a square minus b square root of c square. That is a square minus b square root of c square, or this is a square minus b square c. No more radical. So a minus b square root of c is called the conjugate of a plus b square root of c. Now, example 6. One plus square root of 5 divided by 2 minus square root of 3. The conjugate of 2 minus square root of 3 is 2 plus square root of 3. So we multiply with 2 square root of 3 divided by 2 square root of 3. One plus square root of 5 times 2 plus square root of 3 divided by 2 minus square root of 3, 2 plus square root of 3. So this is 1 times 2 plus 1 times square root of 3 plus 2 times square root of 5 plus square root of 5 times square root of 3. And here divide by 2 square minus square root of 3 square. So this is 2 plus square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 5 plus square root of 5 times 3 of 4 minus 1, minus 3, sorry. This is 2 plus square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 5 plus square root of 15 divided by 1. Square root of 15. Okay, now we talk about rational root. So principle. And root. So the principal and root of a written as and root of a is a number with the same sign as a and we're taking to the n power. It equals a. The index of the radical is n. Of the radical. Example 7. So the cubic root of 8 x to the power of 9 divided by 125. We can write as the cubic root of 8x to the power 9 divided by the cubic root of 125. So this is the cubic root of 8, cubic root of x to the power 9, and cubic root of 125. Cubic root of 8 is 2 because 2 cube equal to 8. Cubic root of x to the power 9, that is x cube. And cubic root of 125, that is 5. Okay, next. Rational exponents. So a to the power of rational number m over n, we could understand it as the n root of a and take to the power m, or it is m root of a to the power m, and after that take n root. Either way. So example 8. 9 to the power 5 over 2, we could write as square root of 9 to the power 5. So this is 3 to the power 5. So this is 243. Or we could write as 9 to the power 5, and after that take the square root. So 9 to the power 5, it is 59,049, and takes the square root, it is also 243. Okay. 2, 3x to the power 2 over 3, 5x to the power 3 over 4. We could write as 2 times 3 times 5. And x to the power 2 over 3 times x to the power 3 over 4. So this is 2 to the power 3 is 6, 6 to the power 6 times 5, this is 30. And x to the power 2 over 3 plus 3 over 4. So it is 17 over 12. Okay, another example. Nine over 16 to the power the half. To the power the half, it is the square root of 9 over 16. This is square root of 9 over square root of 16. So this is 3 over 4. Okay. Simplify. X square root of 64y plus 4 square root of y over square root of 128y. So this is we can write as x square root of 64 square root of y plus 4 square root of y over square root of 128 square root of y. So square root of 64, this is 8, so this is 8x square root of y plus 4 square root of y. And here, square root of 128, we write it as square root of 2 times 64 square root of y. So here this is 8x plus 4 square root of y. And here this is square root of 64 square root of 2 square root of y. So 8x plus 4 square root of y over 8 square root of 2 square root of y. Now we can get the square root of y. And here we write 4 times of 2x plus 1 over 8 square root of 2, it will be 2x plus 1 over 2 square root of 2. Because 4 divided by 8, it is 2. Next, we multiply with square root of 2. Square root of 2 here, it will be square root of 2 times 2x plus 1 divided by 2 square root of 2 square. Square root of 2, 2x plus 1 divided by 2 times 2 divided by 4. Okay. One last example. Square root of 8 minus square root of 16 over 4 minus square root of 2 minus 2 square the half. This is we could write it as square root of 4 times 2 minus 4 over 4 minus square root of 2 and multiply with the conjugate 4 plus square root of 2, 4 plus square root of 2 minus 2 to solve the half. So this square root of 4 square root of 2 minus 4 over 4 minus square root of 2 times 4 plus square root of 2, 4 plus square root of 2 minus 2 to solve the half. So this is 2 square root of 2 minus 4, 4 plus square root of 2 divided by 4 square minus square root of 2 square. So this is 8 square root of 2 plus 2 square root of 2 square minus 4 times 4 minus 4 square root of 2 over 16 minus 2. So this is 8 square root of 2 plus 4 minus 16 minus 4 square root of 2 over 14 minus square root of 2. So 8 this is 8 square root of 2 minus 4 square root of 2. This is 4 square root of 2 minus 12 over 14 minus square root of 2. So we could take here 2 of 2 square root of 2 minus 6 over 2 times 7 minus square root of 2. Or we could say this is 2 square root of 2 minus 6 over 7 minus, we could say 7 square root of 2 over 7. So 2 square root of 2 minus 7 square root of 2 minus 6. So this is minus 5 square root of 2 minus 6 over 7. Or we could write it is minus of 6 plus 5 square root of 2 over 7.